And we continue. In our annual research, we study and describe high-tech crime trends and use this information to predict how existing threat landscape will evolve over the next few years. I will speak about key trends with ransomware, initial access brokers, financial threats, phishing and scam, and of course about how nation-state actors evolved. Much more information you will find in our report. And this year, instead of one report, we release 5 reports that have great details about all areas that I just mentioned. And the key driver for cybercrime market is, of course, affiliate programs. Affiliate programs have become so effective that almost the entire cybercrime market use affiliate programs for everything they do. The number of public ransomware affiliate programs increased, and of course now increased by 33%. We observe more than 70 phishing and scam affiliate programs that we'll discuss later. And of course, more successful financial malware and financial malware operator launched affiliate programs. But now let's focus on ransomware affiliate programs, because ransomware is a threat number 1, and it affects every region and of course many different industries all over the world. The number of new public ransomware affiliate programs have grew, but the speed of growth decreased, but unfortunately didn't stop. Because of successful law enforcement operations, ransomware programs became toxic for the rest of the hacker community. Even hacker forum administrators banned the advertisement of ransomware affiliate programs. And in response, new forums emerged which allowed such activity and gained popularity very quickly. The number of data leak sites and victims also increased. The number of new DLS has grown by 32%, and that indicates that more affiliate programs go under radar. Also, we can see that number of victims on the data leak sites keep growing, and this trend can be supported by 2 different factors. The first one, threat actors do more attacks with partners. And of course, the second factor, victims don't pay ransom more often, and that's why we've been listed on data leak sites. The number of victims whose data was published on data leak sites increased by 935% and reached number in total 2,371. According to our estimation, this year, only 30% of victims were listed on the data leak sites. That means that other companies paid the ransom. In 2020, top 3 leaders of ransomware affiliate programs belongs to Maze, Egregor, and Conti. In 2021, the situation changed, and new leaders are Conti, Logbit, and Evadon. As you can see, the difference between leaders is not so big as it was a year ago. If we take a look on victims, about 50% of ransomware victims are from US. Then goes Canada, France, and UK. The US is the main target of threat actors, but there is no strong leader among industries. Manufacturing, real estate, transportation, professional services, and financial services are top 5 industries. Using this information, we can make predictions. Attackers can start sell data on compromised companies on data leak sites. Such activity was previously, but has not yet become a trend. The number of victims and number of data leak sites will grow, and we believe the reason of data leak sites growth is that affiliate programs will manage several data leak sites at the same time to deluge attention of law enforcement and, of course, security researchers. They understand that the higher numbers and more companies they list on data leak sites, the more attention they attract. The next part is about initial access brokers. Just because ransomware affiliate programs give initial access brokers new opportunities, and we see that they use it. Year by year, the number of sales of initial access is keep growing fast. For the last 12 months, we see that more than 1,000 access offered in the total. And these access brokers earn at least $7 million. That means that the market keeps growing. The number of brokers also is growing fast, and the total number of brokers changed from 86 last year to 262 this year. So, and you can see that the speed of growth is extremely fast. But most of these brokers are not very active at the moment, so we just started the journey. We see that about 35% of access is sold just by 5 main brokers that you can see here on the screen. Victims of access brokers carry it very well with ransomware. The main target is still the United States, then goes France and the United Kingdom. But what is different is the most attacked industry. We see that the most popular industry is government. That can be a good indicator that the demand for such access on the dark web markets. The main intrusion vectors are the same. The main intrusion vector is, of course, external remote services, then phishing and vulnerable external-facing applications. Now external perimeter protection and attack surface management became a critical part of cybersecurity management. Rise of post-exploitation frameworks. The developer attacks, the ransomware, and the espionage, threat actors need to use post-exploitation frameworks. And we see that number of active C2 servers growing very fast. And the most popular framework is, of course, Cobalt Strike, that actually doubled the number of active C2 servers detected by our systems. Using this information, of course, we can make more predictions. It's clear that in the future we will see more brokers, and competition between them will decrease the average price for their access. Affiliate programs captured everything, but not the market of initial access brokers. We expect to see such a program and new platform to appear, and that will increase the market. As you remember, major intrusion vector is external remote services. But we see that more companies rely on cloud service providers that allow them to many different enterprises to use very convenient cloud single sign-on. That could be the next main target for the threat actors. Now let's speak about financial threat landscape. That is completely different to what we speak about before, but ransomware and access brokers are still possess a real threat for this financial industry. Within a year, we saw that 127 companies were affected by ransomware incidents. And financial industry also suffers of initial access brokers. And in total, within the last year, we detected that we offered 94 access to different financial organizations. When we speak about financial market, it's impossible to not mention the carding, because it's one of the main market on the cybercrime. The carding market can be divided in two categories. The first one is sale of dumps, of chips and magnetic stripes that are usually captured by point-of-sale malware. The second one is text data that can be gathered by phishing, Java sniffers, or direct access to e-commerce website databases. As you can see on the screen, the carding market decreased from 1.2 billion to 1.4. And this is the first time when we see that this market start to decrease. Dump sale decreased from $70 to $58 million just because of Joker Stash shop shut down. But the opposite side, the text data increased from 28 to 38 millions, thanks to Java sniffer activity. So that's why Java sniffer activity is extremely important to track. This market continues to evolve, and we see now more than 98 different families. But in fact, only 42 families were active within last year. The most active Java sniffer is Inter, that is advertised highly on dark web forums, and that's why many different actors use it. Now let's speak about advanced attacks against banks. The activity of targeted attacks against financial institutions with motivation to rob the bank has almost disappeared, except 2 countries or 2 regions. In Russia, we saw just one incident with interbank system that was prepared by threat actors 8 months. But we became aware that there is a threat actor that has a strong focus on African banks. The gang is not very mature, but still is effective, and their activities deserve more detailed story that we'll tell later. Banking botnets for PCs or personal computers, malware, are not so active anymore. All Trojans are still active, but in many cases we deliver ransomware. But on the opposite side again, LATAM offers of banking Trojans are the most active. They create new malware when it is then used to attack clients of banks in the region, and do not possess the threat to other banks that are outside of Latin America. Completely different picture we see with banking Trojans for Android. This year, the game changers are Flutebot and T-Bot. And the reason why we became so successful is the business model that is affiliate program. This helped them to distribute malware all over the world, and what is also important, to organize effective money laundering in different regions where we don't have enough experience. Another interesting and emerging threat is a fake merchants or fake payment system. To be able to make thousands of fraudulent transactions, threat actors need automation, and we did it with fake payment systems, when we were able to change merchant details to full banks. We see an average in Russia 1.4 thousand of fake transactions per day. This automation works, and in future, similar schemes can be exported from Russia to other regions, so that's why it's so important to track what happens in emerging markets. Using this information, we can predict that banking Trojans market will continue to die, and we'll expect that the situation in Latin America will also be improved. Same time, we will forecast for attacks on point-of-sale terminals and sale of credit card dumps. It will continue to decline, and only Java sniffers will be one of the main drivers for carding market. Same trend we will forecast for attacks on point-of-sale terminals and sale of credit card dumps. It will continue to decline, and only Java sniffers will be one of the main drivers for carding market. Phishing will remain the threat number one. Any financial organizations in any region suffers from phishing. Phishing is one of the oldest threats, but it keeps growing year by year, and in this case, the new driver is affiliate programs too. It became so popular that more than 70 affiliate phishing and scam affiliate programs were actively looking for partners on dark web forums, and within a year, we created more than 2,000 messages hiring new partners. And just in 40 most active affiliate programs, we see that they've been joined by 5,000 unique scammers. And of course, this is a huge opportunity for all these scam schemes to compromise more credentials. To be able to manage all these partners, threat actors need automation. And Telegram became the platform for such automation. Bots in Telegram allow us to automate many routine tasks like registration, onboarding of new partners, notifications about payments, collection of compromised credentials, and others. In 2020, we saw that only 0.8% of phishing kits use Telegram to collect credentials. Now the number grew up to 6.6%. Potential victims are now chosen deliberately, and when we click on the link, many redirects take place where along the way, data is collected about the user, his provider, location, IP address, device model, user engine, and most suitable type of fraud is selected based on language, brand, and the industry. At the end, personalized link is created that only opens for that specific user. This allows fraudsters to deliver tailored content to a specific victim, and it makes it difficult to attack. And of course, on the initial stage, it's really hard to prevent. In the first half of 2021, we continue to see a significant increase of phishing for online services like Microsoft Live, Office 365, Google accounts, and similar services. For threat actors, it's clear and obvious that one cloud account can open the door to many other services. We can predict that not just Telegram, but other messengers, also with bots, can be actively used by scammers in future that will help different affiliate programs to evolve faster. Because of new trend for tailored phishing links detection will be one of the most complex attacks than ever, and the most effective way that we can see as an industry can stop them is to stop fraudulent transactions, because they do in real time now. And finally, let's speak about military operations, or handled by different nation-state actors. Because these type of threat actors are the most advanced. They deliver new techniques, new tactics, and of course, understanding how they operate brings lots of useful knowledge to predict about how you need to protect your organization. For the last several years, military operations will be more aggressive and focus on new goals, sabotage and disruption. This year is not an exception. Israel destroyed 2 buildings that were suspected to be a warehouse of cybernetic equipment and a huge apartment linked to cyber attacks against Israel. In Mumbai, a massive power outage lasted about 2 hours, and in some areas up to 12 hours. In February, unidentified hackers broke into a sewage treatment plant in Pinellas County, Florida, that purifies water for 50,000 people. The attackers tried to increase the sodium oxide level in the water by more than 100 times, which of course could be the huge damage and probably kill some people. Traditionally, Iran has been the victim of major attacks in the region. In July and October, operations took place. In the first case, Iran's railway infrastructure was attacked, and the hackers displayed messages about the train delays and cancellation of information on the screens. In October, Iran's network of state-owned gas distribution company, NIPDC, which operates more than 3,000 filling stations across the country, was attacked. One of the interesting facts that in both cases, the threat actors asked to call on the phone that you can see on the screen. Another interesting trend is, of course, massive supply chain attacks. More threat actors use this technique to invisibly get access to many infrastructures of their interest. But as you can see, the software developers are the main target, and this is supported by the next trend. That is, cybersecurity communities are not the first time to be a target of threat actors, and even leaders of the industry got hacked. Well-known actor Lazarus also made an attempt to follow the trend, and just in social networks, we reach many different security experts trying to affect them. But Lazarus is not the only threat actor that was very active in social networks. Oil Rig, for example, another threat actor, offered various positions in consulting company Antiva IT, a company located in Virgin, USA. Hexane is another example. They created profile possessed as a HR manager for company GPC, an Israeli technology company. So what we can predict? Of course, supply chain and trust relationship will be the growing trend over the next year. Attacks on microservice application can be the new focus of the attacks. And of course, threat actors will shift the focus of attacks to single sign-on, as service providers by IT giants, the same as other threat actors, general cyber criminals, will do too. Later today, you will hear much more information about threats. Please use this knowledge in our reports to protect your business and fight against cybercrime. Thank you so much for your attention, and please enjoy the conference.